Punisher teams up with Spider-Man. Spider-Man fights the Hulk. Punisher and Spider-Man fight the Hulk. Jean Grey, web slinging looks great. VFX looks great. So much action. So many villains. Zendaya doesn't love Tom Holland. Jacob Batalon remembers Peter. There's so much to talk about. Welcome to 3FN. I am your host, William Thomas Alexander. And this is where we talk about movies, TV shows, music, sports, video games, all things entertainment. For today's entertainment, for today's video, guys, I have now watched Spider-Man Brand New Day 2 times. First time I saw it was in 4DX. Second time I saw it was in Dolby Cinema. Both times were amazing. The 4DX experience was the best experience I have ever had in a movie theater, hands down. Between the audience reaction, the seats moving, there's lights flickering, you got water dropping, little bits of water dropping on your shoulder, wind is brushing against your face. Every time Spider-Man gets punched, you get punched. Not literally. Obviously not literally. Every time Spider-Man throws a punch, it feels like you're throwing the punches. It was an immersive, very engaging, very active experience at a movie theater. My best experience, my favorite experience I've ever had. Make sure you go see this movie in 4DX, or just go see a movie in 4DX to get a feel of what that experience is like. I think every moviegoer should experience that at least one time. With that being said, This is not an AMC promo. I only shop at AMC, and AMC has now recently started putting 4DX theaters in their movie theaters. One of the best decisions they have ever made. Thank you, AMC. All right, outside of that, let's talk about the movie. There's a lot to talk about. First thing I want to talk about, and this is not in any order, I'm going to go and just brush on a couple of things and talk about certain things that I liked, certain things that I didn't like, all right? As every movie, I try to take it with a grain of salt because I am biased when it comes to superhero movies. I'm also biased when it comes to Marvel. So there's a lot of Marvel movies that you guys may not have liked, but I liked it more than others, and I probably rated it higher than others because Marvel can do no wrong sometimes, most times in my eyes, all right? There's a few times, I'm not saying all the time, but there's a few times, Quantumania, Multiverse of Madness, Eternals, yeah, there's a couple times, Blade didn't get made. Yeah, they dropped the ball. They've dropped the ball sometimes, but for the most part, I always give Marvel movies the benefit of the doubt. No movie is perfect. This movie is not perfect, okay? This movie, getting it out the gate right now, 9 out of 10. That is what I'm going to rate it at the end of this video, and I'm letting you know right now. This movie is a 9 out of 10, and it deserves that rating, all right? It wasn't perfect. There were some things that I didn't like, all right? There were more things that I liked. So let's talk about all the things that I liked. Spider-Man versus Hulk, one of the best freaking Hulk scenes we have ever seen. Probably the best one since the first Avengers. Mind you, I really liked the Hulk scene in Age of Ultron when he was mind controlled and stuff like that. But I don't want to see Hulk mind controlled. I want to see Hulk being able to be free and be reckless and smashing stuff just as Hulk. All right. I don't want him to be influenced by anything. And the way the movie did this was perfect because I thought that Jean Grey was going to mind control the Hulk, like how Scarlet Witch did in Age of Ultron. That is not the case. She was mind controlling Professor Hulk, which was awesome because we all hate Professor Hulk now. It was great for Endgame. It dragged on. They milked the hell out of it, and now it's just still milk that hasn't been thrown away. So what? So she was able to mind control Professor Hulk. That was cool. Because you got a little bit of the aggressive scenes, we weren't taking him seriously. Then Jean Grey got kicked out of his brain because Banner didn't want her in there anymore. And we find out that she broke something inside of Banner. Whatever that was, hopefully it stays broken forever. Because this leads to the best Hulk out scene we have ever gotten. I think it's better than first Avengers. No bullshit. Excuse my French. I genuinely think this scene was better than the first Avengers Hulk out scene. All right, and I'm not talking about in the Battle of New York. I'm talking about when he first hulked out. And that was a crazy, terrifying scene, him chasing Black Widow. This time he's chasing Spider-Man, okay? And man, let me tell you, they did some crazy camera work with this scene, y'all. There was a part where Hulk was rummaging through a hallway to get to Spider-Man, and the camera was flipping. It was turning as Spider-Man was climbing on walls, dodging, maneuvering, placing webs to trap him and stuff like that, doing the whole nine. This movie, the cinematographer, whoever he was, don't know his name, he was cooking when it came to this. He was cooking. That whole Hulk vs. Spider-Man scene was perfect. Punisher was the great blend. They used Punisher in a way that I wasn't expecting. They used him a lot as like the comic relief sort of type of character, but it wasn't cheesy comic relief. It was exactly how the Punisher would act if he was in a Spider-Man movie, if he was talking to Spider-Man. And that's what made it great. It was like an older brother, little brother sort of situation, where the little brother has more power. The little brother is stronger. But the older brother he's not going to let the little brother talk to him any which way. He's not going to let the little brother belittle him in any sort of way. So they have this banter throughout the movie where it just sounds like two New Yorkers just arguing the whole time. There was a line in this movie, my favorite line in the whole movie, was when Tom Holland is talking to Punisher while Punisher just meets MJ for the first time. And I believe he goes, "What, I gotta save your life twice just to get 2 favors out of you?" That was the most New York sounding Spider-Man I have ever heard. Like, the way Tom Holland portrays his character, it's almost, specifically in this movie, it's like I saw glimpses of Toby, I saw glimpses of Andrew, and you see and Tom makes it his own at the same time. There is no Oscorp. They don't mention of none of that. And I thought that was very interesting. There was a brief moment where Ned was asking MJ if she went to the interview. She said that she got the job. We never found out what that job was for. So that begs the question. Is Oscorp? Is it AIM? Is it what company is she interviewing for? Jean Grey. We find out Sadie Sink is Jean Grey, and yeah, man, she is really Jean Grey. There were a lot of moments in here where I just couldn't believe that this was Jean Grey. And that's not saying it like it was a bad thing. Like, I didn't believe she was Jean Grey. Jean Grey is an X-Men. Jean Grey is one of the leaders of the X-Men. I've only seen Jean Grey outside of the Phoenix Force in that terrible dumpster fire of a movie, X-Men 3, where she was actually crazy. Like, she was crazy in X-Men 3. All right, she was Phoenix Force. She was Phoenix the heck out. Outside of that, I have never seen Jean Grey have such a villainous and such a intimidating persona. And she did some pretty messed up things to Peter. The one scene that we all have that lives rent-free in our brain, we thought that, at least I did, I thought MJ remembered him. I thought MJ really broke it down. Because if you remember, and this is where they get so smart with it, MJ figured out Peter was Spider-Man in the first trilogy by herself. So she already has the characteristics and the traits that lead us to believe that she can figure this out. And they got us. Bro, they had me. I was so happy. I was so head over heels excited and happy for my boy. I was like, yo, he really got the girl again. Like, she remembers. And then she goes, "Go ahead, Peter. Touch her. Give her a hug." I said, huh? Bro, I kid you not. There was someone in my theater. And the whole theater was shocked in that moment. No one had a vocal reaction except for this one dude in my theater. This one dude in my theater said, "No fucking way." Everybody in that theater was chuckling. It was a very intricate moment. Had us all thinking that they were gonna get back together. He got back to his MJ. And that happens, and the dude was like, "Get the fuck out of here." That was insane. And on top of that, not only was she playing with his emotions, but then she jumped off the building as MJ. This is Jean Grey we're talking about. Charles Xavier's right hand girl. Right hand woman. This is who we're talking about here. I could not believe that this was Jean Grey. This is obviously an origin for her character. She obviously has not been to Charles Xavier. She hasn't been to the school of gifted youngsters. So she is lost. It makes sense that she is acting out of emotion. She's acting out of emotion because the DODC kills her sister. Now that whole plot point was very interesting. It got emotional because you find out that she's really not, Jean Grey's really not the villain. Okay, she just wants to find her sister. All right, and her sister, the last thing that her sister tells her before she dies is the term VMAX. And throughout the movie, they lead you to believe that VMAX is some sort of item or facility or company. Well, it is a company, but some sort of building where they were holding her sister. So the whole movie you're thinking, okay, well, her sister's probably behind that door. Well, no, the DODC killed her. Now, this is the first time I've seen the DODC in a light of like murderers, like really corrupt. Like at first the DODC looked like an organization that just wanted to contain people with powers that were unstable, that you didn't know if they were going to be able to control. That's what the DODC, that's how it looked to me. In this movie, taking it to the extreme of like, okay, now they're experimenting on these people and killing them, that gives them a new layer of, yeah, you guys are bad people. Like we knew that they were antagonists. Like whenever a hero ran into the DODC, it was never a fun time. They were always trying to get information, trying to capture somebody, lock them up. You know, it was, yeah, they were always trying to lock up people with powers. But this takes it to a whole nother level, because not only are they trying to capture them, they're trying to test on them, and then they're killing these people. And that has to lead into, you know, the mutant story that they're going to take, that Marvel's going to take this further on, you know, with the X-Men and everything like that. That has to be a big part. The DODC was the true villain of the film, and they, you know, for most of the movie, it's Spider-Man chasing Jean Grey, trying to save MJ and Ned, because Jean Grey can't, like, her power is too strong. She's able to just jump through people's minds, and for the most part, it worked for me. I really liked the Jean Grey character. I was so shocked that she was, even at her age, at her young ass age, I don't know how young she is, but she was capable of taking over the mind of Spider-Man's loved one, making him sit through the emotion of thinking that he got his girl back, kissing him and everything, and then revealing that it's not her, and then jumping off a building for him to save her. And mind you, it looked exactly like how Gwen Stacy was falling when Andrew Garfield couldn't save her. Like they love to draw back to that moment. They give us, it's like every Spider-Man movie, there's a singular moment where it resembles that scene. Why? Why you gotta do that to us? You gotta make us remember the scene where Andrew was crying on the floor holding Emma Stone? We all remember that.
With me. Stay with me. Stay with me. You stay with me.
We don't. The VMAX plotline kind of let me down, because I thought VMAX was supposed to be something bigger. The VMAX is just a vent company. It's called Vent Max. And the ENT was like faded a little bit. So that's why the sister was able, she only was able to read VMAX. Man, I'm sitting here thinking VMAX is like a bigger ploy, like a secret room that's holding other mutants and stuff like that. We're about to see hella mutants. No, VMAX is just is a vent company. The movie drew inspirations from the video game. There is a move that Spider-Man uses on Scorpion. I know you all know what move I'm talking about, where it's straight from the video game. It's straight from the PS5, PS4 video game. It's when he jumps up into the air, he webs the ground, and he uses the momentum that brought him from jumping and slams his feet into the person. That is straight from the video game. The opening scene looks straight from the video game. You know the scene where he's raiding, he has to get to Fisk's tower and he has to go through the city, there's explosions, tanks and shit like that. Yeah, that looks straight from the video game. Also, the cop that he's talking to on the phone throughout the movie, in the video game, there was a backflip he did off of a roof. That looked like the start of the video game. I'm thirsty. It's like the writer, director, and the producers all are gamers. You would think that all of them are gamers. This movie was heavily inspired from the Spider-Man games, and I'm all here for it. This man was, at the end of the movie, he used his ultimate ability on the hand. His ultimate ability, Web Blossom. There is a specific name for the move he did at the end of the movie to the hand. Excuse me. It's called Web Blossom. The inspiration to the game, the connection to the game is what really resonates with me, because I love the game, and the detail in how they really made it look like the video game was amazing. The post-credit scene was lackluster to me. That's just my opinion. It didn't excite me, but it did intrigue me, if that makes sense. I am intrigued by the post-credit scene, but I'm not excited because I don't necessarily know what that means. Everybody's online acting as if they know what the heck that means. Oh, that means it's Toby over there. Oh, it's Miles over there. Well, mind you, he didn't get moved to another planet. There was no planet. It was just in the middle of space. Okay? We don't know if that's Tom that just got teleported from Earth, because the screen just moved over. It's not like the dot that was on Earth disappeared and then reappeared in another location. So a new Spider-Man location, I mean, is it Toby? Is it Andrew? I mean, is it for Secret Wars? Is it for Doomsday? Like, it intrigued me, but the post-credit scene had no substance. It was just a screen. It looked like it was something that could have been made in 5 seconds. It didn't look like there was any thought into the post-credit scene. So it wasn't, again, this is the reason why it wasn't perfect. Another reason why it wasn't perfect, and it's not even necessarily because the movie story-wise, plot-wise had anything. It's just there was no build-up to Doomsday. Like, this was the last movie we were going to get before Avengers Doomsday, and there was nothing in here that was leading up to that. There was nothing. Absolutely nothing. So Doomsday is going to be a movie where we're just going to walk into the movie, and it is going to be their job to really build this character Victor Von Doom up in one movie. That scares me a little bit. It's not a 3-hour movie. It's 2 hours and maybe 2 hours and 40 something minutes. Everything for the first time we are about to be seeing with Doom is going to be in Doomsday. They did not do that with Thanos. Thanos, it took years to build up. So that scares me a little bit. I thought in Brand New Day they were going to give something that was going to maybe allude to Doctor Doom, or finally give us some sort of scene with Doom that really makes us worried about him being involved with all of these characters. They didn't give us anything of that. Throughout the movie, he's also changing. He has organic webs. He's blacking out. He's getting stronger. He's mutating. That's the theme of this movie. It's mutations. Mutants. You got Jean Grey. You got the Hulk. You got Peter Parker, who's now becoming more spider than man. Let me tell you, the organic webs are still disgusting. They were disgusting in Toby's, and they are still disgusting in this one. They had a specific scene that they were making it extra clear that it sounds like goo just oozing from your wrist. Like pus. It sounded like pus. This shit was gross. All right, it probably is cool looking, you know, when you're swinging it, but that junk looks gross. So he has his organic webs. He's stronger and he's able to mesh the two. That was his whole movie. He was afraid of his arachnid side taking over, and he was afraid that he was not going to be able to control it. But he, by the end of the movie, is able to control his human side and his arachnid hormones. And he becomes a full, complete Spider-Man. Did I miss anything? I don't think I missed anything. I really hope. I mean, I talked about Hulk. You know, I thought Hulk was used great. I thought Jean Grey was used great. I thought Ned and MJ was used great. It seems like they're still going to be really good friends, even though they don't remember anything about him. It seems like, you know, they had one of the best scenes, one of the best quieter scenes in the movie is when Spider-Man literally goes up to Ned and MJ's apartment and is just talking to them. She's drawing a picture of both of them, and they're I think they're playing with their Legos or whatever, or they're having some nerd conversation. Ned was asking Spider-Man questions, like how he did in Homecoming when he found out. And yeah, you really see the chemistry. Like, and you see the chemistry between the characters, but you generally see the chemistry through the actors too. Like not only did they have to be friends in the first trilogy, but now they have to act like they don't know him and build a new friendship with him at the same time. And the chemistry is still there, even though they don't have the memories they had before. It's really a testament to the acting. It really is. And I thought it was great through and through. Again, I rated it a 9 out of 10. I'll do like a 9.3 out of 10. It was a fantastic movie. I think they could have did a lot better with the post-credit scene, been a little bit more creative. Another thing that drew inspiration from the game, bro, Ned making the Spidey tracker. Come on. I mean, like this was the video game, honestly. You know, yeah, Hulk was great. The Hulk had the best scene in the movie, hands down. The best scene in the movie was the Hulk scene. That was also the best Hulk out scene we've ever seen in Marvel history. Marvel movie history. Punisher was great. I love seeing John Berthal. Can't get enough of John Berthal. Keep him in these Marvel movies. Him and Spider-Man have a perfect dynamic. That probably the best dynamic in the whole movie is Punisher and Spider-Man. Second best, I'd probably say is Spider-Man and Ned. Yeah, I'd say Spider-Man and Ned. Yeah, this movie was great, man. I've already seen it twice. I'm gonna go see it a third time. I didn't really talk about the web slinging. The web slinging was fantastic. It gave Andrew Garfield type of web slinging even better. It gave Andrew Garfield mixed with the PS5 game, mixed with Toby's strength. Like it was great, man. It was so good. Chef's kiss. That Hulk scene plays in my head every single day. Every single day. I can't get enough of it. And I also, seeing it in 40X also added to that experience. It was so good. But that's going to do it. This video is 25 minutes. Thank you guys for watching this video with me. It's a long review, but it's a good one. It's a good one. Leave a like, comment, do the thing you do when you subscribe. Share with your friends. And as always, thank you guys for watching my videos. Bye now.